so welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can turn yourself into Dani as the May Queen from Midsommar. So in this video, not only am I going to be showing you how you can achieve her makeup look, which honestly, she doesn't even really look like she's wearing makeup as her character. However, for the theatrics of this look, I am going to be showing you what I did just to kind of bring the character together, and especially since she does have a lot of dark circles under her eyes, so we're going to be using some purple tones for that, and some red tones because she has been crying because it's an emotional roller coaster. But I'm also going to be showing you how you can create her flower headdress as well, and some DIY stitching embroidery into this dress as well, which is really, really cool because honestly, the trick is you don't even stitch it. You just use puff paint. For the sake of this video, I honestly just have so many fake flowers all around me that I'm just holding up to simulate like her little flower dress because I'm just saying, with all of the looks I'm doing this Halloween, that was the one thing I most certainly do not have time for. But honestly, I'm sure you could probably get like a hoop skirt and then just glue a bunch of flowers on it and like tie it around like your neck area and like have it build up a little bit. I think that would be pretty great. I think that'd be pretty doable. So anyways, with that being said, if you guys are interested in turning yourself into the May Queen this Halloween, then just keep watching. Hey guys, so to get started, I'm going to be showing you how you can DIY your own Midsommar dress. The things that you're going to need for this project are a white dress of your choosing. I chose one that had an open back that I could tie together, and two different colored puff paints. The colors I have are shiny medium blue and shiny navy. I'm going to go ahead and turn this dress around. I will of course have it linked down below for you guys if you want to find the exact same dress. So because this dress is from Shein, honestly the front and the back fit the exact same, so I'm not too worried about the fit of this. And to start off on the design for the collar, they honestly look like two little X's connected with a little semicircle for the first row, and then the second row is kind of like a sideways S. They kind of curl together, and so I'm definitely making sure to look at reference photos when doing these designs and trying to make them look as accurate as possible. I'm not too worried about these being exactly perfect, but I do want to do my best. Next, I'm going to be working on the logo in the center of her dress. I highly recommend looking at reference photos throughout this entire project, but I definitely had to look at a few for this in particular. I started off by creating a large diamond, and then I'm going to be creating a backwards R, and actually a little bit of an 8 or an hourglass, but keep in mind that all of these shouldn't have rounded edges, they should come to points, so you definitely want to make sure that you have that. And then we're just going to be dotting the outside of the diamond. I'm then going to go ahead and work on the sleeves for now, and so for this I'm just going to be creating an entire row of dots for the first layer. Then I'm going to be creating little tiny almost mountain caps right on top of these dots, making sure that they're pointing upwards. I do this between every 2 dots. Then we're just going to be doing another layer of a lot of dots that are close together. And for the following layer, we're actually going to be doing this once again between about every 2 dots or so. I'm going to be creating 2 triangles that are facing away from each other, and together they kind of end up creating their own symbol. Next, we're going to be going into our lighter blue color, and we're actually going to be creating what looks like a little bit of sun rays coming off of these darker blue colors. We're going to be going back into our darker blue and definitely looking at the reference photo. It looks like between every other little triangular design that you can kind of see over in that left-hand corner, there's kind of what looks like a little bit of a rose. So I'm going to start off by creating a line with a few little leaves coming off of it and then just making that come to a point. And of course, a lot of these designs are surrounded by tiny blue dots or stitches. Then we're just going to be replicating that design on the left-hand side, which is honestly just 2 V's stacked with a few blue dots surrounding it, and then of course surrounded by a few light blue dots as well. After that, I went ahead and did the entire other sleeve the exact same way. We're then just going to go ahead and cut these strings off of the collar of the dress, or technically the back of the dress, because we're actually going to be replacing it with our own strings. I'm going to be taking 3 colors of floss string. One is going to be a dark blue, the other is going to be a white, and then the third is going to be kind of like an ombre between blue and light blue and a little bit of white as well. Feel free to use whatever you had. I just have so many of these from middle school when I used to make friendship bracelets, so I'm just going to go ahead and use these 3 because I felt like it looked really accurate to the kind of strings that she has on her dress, and you're just going to braid this like you would your own hair. Once that's done, you're going to go ahead and take the darkest blue floss string and wrap that around 2 of your fingers for 10 full rotations. Then what you're going to do with this is you're going to cut off the excess string that you don't need and pull the string off of your fingers, making sure not to disrupt the circle ring that you've created. You're then going to be taking a tiny extra piece of string and go ahead and tie that ring to the end of your braided rope. Once that is nice and secure, you're going to go ahead and take your scissors and cut that ring in half so all of the little tassels come down like so. And you're just going to go ahead and do a few extra cuts to make sure all the tassels are even. I personally found this tutorial through Lone Fox here on YouTube. If you want to find a more in-depth version as well, I highly recommend his channel because this looks so cute and this was perfect for this dress. And so whenever you're finished, it should look a little bit like this. And then of course, you're just going to be doing the exact same thing a second time for the second string. I'm then going to be taking the little pieces of string and pulling the collar of the dress back and then just hot gluing this in place. I had to include these materials at the time of filming the materials in the beginning just because I wasn't sure that I was actually going to do this. I hadn't had this idea yet, and then I just remembered that I had the materials because obviously you can just use the strings that come on the dress and you can add a few little colors of puff paint here and there to kind of replicate this yourself. But if you happen to have this on hand or you're feeling like paying the extra money to buy these 3 pieces of floss, I highly recommend it because I really think it helps bring the whole dress to the accuracy of the character. And that is how you can DIY a dress to make it look like Dani's dress from Midsommar. Next, I'm going to be showing you how you can DIY this huge May Queen flower crown. This isn't quite movie accurate just because I know that it has some 3 prongs that come out at the top, but I knew that that wasn't going to be able to be seen in camera, so I just made a super big flower crown. So the products you're going to need are so many flowers. You can get all of these from dollar store, from Walmart. That's where I got all of these. And then of course you want a pre-made flower crown that you can kind of start to build this off of. I ordered this from Amazon. You can of course kind of start from scratch on your own. I just wanted to go ahead and start with a nice frame to work with. Personally, you're not even really going to see any of these flowers underneath, so it really doesn't matter what style you get. I'm going to start off by taking one of the flowers. I made sure to cut off a few of these pieces beforehand, and I'm just going to be gluing them into place in the way that I like. Some of these bigger ones I'm going to be putting at the bottom so that they can kind of serve as a base for the rest of your crown. So that way it kind of has something a little sturdier to hold on to. And then I'm just going to be honestly taking it by aesthetic. I'm going to be taking it by what colors look good next to each other, what different kinds of flowers I can get all in there. I'm just going to be building it up and hot gluing them into place. Don't be afraid because you don't always need to have the entire stem. You can just cut off just the bulb of the flower and glue that into place on other bulbs of flowers, on leaves. You can really make this work, and honestly, this comes out really sturdy if you make sure to hold it in place while it is drying, so that way the glue can completely solidify in place. And honestly, I really love how this turned out. You can really go crazy with this and make it as big and as crazy as you want. I loved how bright this looked because it really started to look like hers from the movie. And so once you've done that, you have your completed Midsommar May Queen crown. Next, we're going to be moving on to the makeup. I'm going to be taking my Milk Hydra Grip Primer and just applying this all over my face. Before moving on to foundation, I'm going to be using my ColourPop Pretty Fresh Foundation in the color 85N and applying this using my IT Cosmetics Airbrush Blurring Foundation Brush. This foundation is perfect because it really does give a natural glowy look to your skin, which, since she looks like she's not wearing any makeup whatsoever, is absolutely perfect. I'm then going to be taking my Buckle Bunny Beauty Cream to Powder Foundation in Mocha and using this as cream contour. I'm going to be placing it to the areas that I want to add a little bit of shadow. So this is under my cheekbones, my nose, and my jawline before making sure to blend that out. I'm then just going to be setting my face using my Patrick Star MAC Cosmetics Translucent Powder. For my brows, I'm going to be keeping it simple, so I'm just going to be taking my NYX Precision Brow Pencil in Espresso and just lightly filling in my brows before going over that and setting my brows with my ColourPop Brow Boss Gel in Soft Black. I'm then going to be taking my Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Primer and priming my eyelids for eyeshadow. Once again, we want to keep this simple since she doesn't really look like she's wearing much makeup, so I'm going to be starting off by taking my ColourPop Wild Nothing palette in the color Top Down and just apply this all over my lid. I'm then going to be taking Morningside, and using this I'm going to be focusing on the lower lash line before bringing that up to the outer corner of the crease and bringing it inwards. I'm then going to be taking Coastline and applying this to the inner corner of my eye and slightly blending it towards the center of my lid before taking Vagabond and once again using this to kind of help blend those colors together. And then I'm going to be taking Crystal Cove and just applying this to my brow bone. I'm then going to be taking my Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in Dimensional Dark Brown and just lightly lining my upper lash line. Next, I'm going to be taking my ColourPop Disney Midnight Masquerade palette, taking New Dream and Quasimodo together and applying this under the eyes. This is going to help give that illusion of some bruising and redness just from the exhaustion and trauma that she has experienced on this trip. So you want to focus this on the lash line and then blend it into the lines surrounding your eyes, kind of where the bags would be. And then you also want to apply this to the very tip of your nose as well to help replicate the redness there. For my lips, I'm going to be keeping it quite simple. I'm going to be taking my ColourPop Disney Designer Collection Bobbity Lip Gloss and my ColourPop Luxe Lip Oil in Playa Vista and just applying that right onto my lips to kind of give it a more natural glossy sheen. I'm then going to be taking my ColourPop Pressed Powder Blush in Desert Rose and just applying this lightly to the apples of my cheeks before moving on to prepping my eyelashes by curling them and taking my Too Faced Better Than Sex Mascara and just sweeping this through my upper and lower eyelashes. And that is how you can turn yourself into Dani as the Maid Queen from Midsommar. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below what you'd like to see next. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. It is October, so I will be uploading a new Halloween themed makeup tutorial for the entire month, so you guys definitely don't want to miss that. Also, if you haven't already, please consider supporting me on Patreon. You can support for as little as $1 a month to receive all exclusive behind the scenes access to upcoming sneak peeks for projects that I'm working on before anybody else gets to, and also some tips and tricks as well. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And with all that being said, I will see you in the next one. Bye!